Okay, so from here, hugging your left knee into your chest. You're going to extend the right leg long. Bring that left knee across your body, gently, slowly, into a little bit of a lumbar twist, a lumbar roll. You're going to release this left arm out to the side. You might want to look over at that left hand to carry on the torsion, spiral shape through the spine. I'm just going to gently stretch out that lower back before we move on and start to work on the hips a little bit. Good, and then bring the right knee into the chest. We'll do the same on the other side. Extend the left leg long. I'm going to bring that right knee across the body. You can extend your right arm, look over at your right hand. If you want to, we're aiming for both shoulders on the floor. Come onto your back. Now once you're on your back, bring the feet quite close towards the butt. I'm going to take your hands over your head. You can let your ribs flare, you can let your torso, your centre do whatever is comfortable here. Hands overhead. Just going to bring the knees out towards the side, so we're into a butterfly stretch. Now with the knees out to the side, just notice if you feel one hip is feeling slightly tighter than the other, maybe one hip is lifted up higher than the other. Maybe even one arm feels longer than the other. That can give us an indication of what's going on in our hips. So just have a notice of what's going on here. Now just bring your feet about 2 inches further away from you, so we're not as tight as of a butterfly stretch. We're going to bring ourselves back up into a roll up. So you're going to start to bring your hands up towards the ceiling, and then bring your chin towards your chest. Slowly, steady. Trying to peel ourselves up, it is quite tricky, vertebra by vertebra. Amazing. Until you are sat up tall. Once you are sat up tall, holding onto the fronts of the ankles, keeping the spine long, try not to sort of slouch into this, spine stays long. Gently, just start to bring yourself forward into a butterfly stretch. So we're looking for quite a big stretch on the hips. You might feel it more in the sort of sacrum, sacroiliac joint region, so like on the back of the pelvis. But no place is wrong to feel it, we should be feeling a little bit of a stretch somewhere in the pelvic region. Fantastic. Okay, so from here we're going to find our way through to kneeling. You may want to grab a pillow for your knee, you might feel okay. But we're going to put let's start with our left knee on the ground, then we're going to take our right knee forward. Now in this position, we want to have sort of right angles through the legs. So I'm looking for a right angle-ish through the front leg, a right angle-ish through the back leg. Have your hip bones pointing forward. So imagine if you had headlamps on your hip bones, they'd be flashing forward. One wouldn't be coming out to the side. From here, if you're like me, you've got a bit of an arch in the back, we're going to very slightly tuck the tailbone down towards the floor. Not so much that we're slouching, but we have a little tilt underneath. Squeeze your butt, and then very, very gently start to hinge forward. So we're going to keep activating, keep squeezing the glutes here. This might feel like enough of a stretch here through the psoas muscle. If you want to take it a little bit further, you're going to reach, this is my left leg, I'm going to reach my left arm up, and I'm going to stretch away. This other hand is just going to go onto the hip. That might feel like too much. If it feels too much, you can just stay here. I'm just going to steady breathe here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then circle the hands onto the inside of the foot. You can tuck, if this might feel like enough of a stretch here to be honest, if you want to stay here, but if you feel okay, tuck the left toes and you're just going to bring yourself into more of a passive runner's lunge. Again, we should be feeling a bit of a stretch here. If you don't, please do not worry. Hips probably just pretty happy, and that's great. Okay, and then slowly coming back, we'll switch it over. So you're going to bring your other knee to the floor. We're going to take our other leg forward. Same thing, we want our hip bones relatively level with one another-ish. Have your hip bones pointing forward. Think of those headlamps, there's one going off to the side. Slightly tuck your tailbone down towards the floor here. Again, no slouching, but we just want a slight tilt downwards. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your butt, and then start to hinge forward from your pelvis. Fantastic. Might feel like enough of a stretch here, but if you do want to take it a little bit further, picking up this right arm this time, stretching away. So I'm actually coming more this way. I'm a little tighter on this side, so it's not going as far, but we're stretching away to just increase the muscle through our psoas, one of our hip flexors. And then sweeping the hands down onto the inside of that foot. This might feel like enough to stay here. If you want to take it a step further, tucking these toes, lifting the knee off the floor, both hip bones still. Obviously they're not completely level, I'm in a slightly different position now, but still looking for them to be relatively square, not opening up the hips. Okay, now make sure you can comfortably put a little bit of weight through your hands here. I'm going to step that left foot back, so I'm in a high plank. If this feels too much, you can come back down onto your pillow and do this on the knees. But if you feel okay, I'd like you to hold it here for 10. I'm just going to ditch my pillow. 9, she says, hold it in the high plank. 8, 7, 6. Steady breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Micro-bended elbows. 4, 3, 2. Slowly walk the hands back to the feet one at a time. And just let your body hang upside down off your pelvis. So just let feet hip distance apart, let the head go, let the neck go, let the arms go, just letting everything drop down. If you want to hold on to opposite elbow, you can, because it'll just feel like you're increasing the stretch slightly. And in this position, just make sure your centre of gravity is over the ball of your foot, so just below your toes. Don't know if you're like me, you like to sway back into your heels a little bit. You want to try and just keep the centre of gravity slightly more forward. If that means bending your knees a little bit, that is fine. And again, there's no right or wrong in terms of positioning, but just for now, if you can focus on just taking your feet, taking your weight slightly forward towards the ball of the foot, opposed to back to the heels, that would be great. And really try and let the neck go. And then relax the arms down to the floor. I'm going to count us down from 10, and we're going to rebuild our spines for the rest of the day. So, whenever you're ready, I'm going to start to very slightly soften the knees, tuck the tailbone down towards the floor, and then we're going to peel up for 10, moving into the lower back, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, really trying to curve through the spine, 3, 2, and 1. Standing up nice and tall. We shall leave it there. Fantastic work.